I wanted to just touch on a little bit about healthy boundaries. And because I think it's important when your child goes home, or even as any parent, even in the workplace, or with your neighbor, or with anything, it's important to have healthy boundaries. And most people don't know what those healthy boundaries are. Those are, the ability to say, no, I don't really want to do that. Or if you're, heaven forbid, if you have a child that goes home and continues to use, they relapse. There comes a time when you have, as a parent, you have to protect your own children, you have to protect you, and you kind of have to step up to the plate and say, you know what, I'm sorry, but, I love you, but you can't be here, and we have to eliminate the chaos in the home. So that was kind of the point you guys got when you sent your child to treatment. And most of the time when the girls, my day job is a special ed teacher down at another facility because my boss down there won't allow me to quit. So I'm down in St. George working it's a larger facility that has 100 kids, and my unit has 10 boys. So then I get to deal with that, and then I come up and, so being a teacher is totally different than being a therapist, because down there I'm a ginger and I have no soul. So, then I come up here and, most of the time I tell these girls, which is, common between, in all therapy, all the treatment facilities I've ever worked in for the last 13 years, the common factor is most of the kids come in thinking, I didn't do anything. It's not my fault, it's my dad's fault, it's my mom's fault, it's, I don't really care whose fault it is, but they blame everybody but themselves. So the first step I always try to take with them is accountability in their actions and their responsibility. Because I tell them, by the time you get here, honey, you've probably pissed off everybody in your whole life because they're sick to death of you. So you're here because, no one else really cares about you right now because everybody's really angry. So you're here, and the sooner you realize that, the sooner you realize you're here and you need to take advantage of that, then the sooner you will get to leave. So this is kind of, it actually reminded me of my granddaughter, because my son puts her in timeout. And I'm thinking, she turns right around and does the exact same thing you put her in timeout for. So I have to kind of laugh because karma sucks when you have your own, that's the beautiful thing about being a grandparent is you can sit there and go, I remember that. So anyway, I always strive to have the girls take responsibility for their own actions and their own their own behaviors. Because I can't change their mom, I can't change, the school area, I can't change their friends, I can't change anything. The only thing that we can do is change ourselves and how we react to things. And they will complain many times. I hate the staff are mean, Jamie's mean, Stephanie's mean, Angie's mean, Integrity House is the worst place. And so what I really try to do is have them recognize all their negative thinking. Because once you become negative, that's all you see is the negative. So, sometimes they have valid complaints. There are things, I really hate that cop, and the girls all know this because I use this all the time. And this person right here can validate this. We really hate the cops around here because you know what? They catch you for speeding.
Oh, yeah. He lets me go every time.
Oh, okay, well, the only time I got away with this when I said, I'm sorry I did that, and he goes, didn't you see me sitting there? And I go, do you think if I saw you sitting there, I really would have done something that stupid? He goes, I really don't know how to respond to that, so I'm going to let you go. So crying doesn't work. Old lady crying doesn't work. They're so union. So that's kind of indicative of these girls that usually end up in treatment. They're there, they're sticking their tongue out at everybody. They do not take accountability for anything that they do. So I really try to work on their negative behaviors. It does take a while with some of the girls they don't trust, especially the adopted girls. Sherry and I just got back from a conference in the Ozarks, and we learned about how trauma in the early years actually going to take the last few minutes and talk a little bit about what we learned from a parent's perspective at that conference. So that's kind of one of the things, that's one of the first things in treatment that I try to approach with the girls is accountability and responsibility. Some of them really struggle with that. They want to blame the staff are stupid. You know, it's stupid integrity health. But I always tell the girls, you know, I've worked at a lot of facilities. You send your girls somewhere else, you go somewhere else, and you know what? That food's probably going to suck. The staff are going to suck. The teachers are going to suck. No matter where you are the problem. Okay, so my mom said that to me years ago, and I've learned that. I said, you know, she said, when everyone in the house is mad at you, you're the one with the problem. So that kind of stuck with me. And I realized when everybody's mad at me or when I'm feeling down and hating the world, I need to kind of realize that I'm probably the one with the attitude and I need to change. So, to talk about boundaries, you know, we all have boundaries. Some of them stem from our childhood. Some of them stem from hurt. Maybe we're divorced. Maybe our parents fought. But what kind of boundary do you keep up to protect yourself from getting hurt? Because none of us ever want to get hurt. Those are, you know, a lot of girls will self-harm because hurting and watching a cut heal is a lot easier than dealing with the heart hurt. So, you know, if you look at yourself and what kind of boundary do you put up to keep yourself safe? Some of us have a brick wall. We will never get past that. No one is ever going to move past that brick wall. So we put it up anytime we feel like somebody's trying to get to know us a little bit more, or they're trying to, you know, go around that fence, or they're trying to poke a little hole in it so they can, you know, find out who we are and what we are. Even then, you have the other fences that, you know, people can peek through. We don't really care. We tell everybody our problems. Our problems are put out there. Everybody, you know, will go from person to person to person, telling them all our problems. We want, you know, everybody's advice. And then, you know, you can sit on the other side of the fence, and that person, you know, we don't really care. We just want to tell everybody our problems. And then there's the other fence that, you know, maybe we just peek through. You know, people just barely peek through a little bit of who we are and what we are, and we only let people see a glimpse of who we are. And then there's the one that, you know, maybe I'll let you in. I have a gate, and I will let you into my heart, in my life. And a lot of our kids, you know, even especially adopted kids, they are the brick wall. Because they've had so much trauma in their life, they are not going to let anybody into that. So trust is very hard for them to get through, especially a therapist, because I don't know about you guys, but when I thought of a therapist, that's those crazy people that walk up and down the street and talk to themselves. They're those people that go to a therapist and then they lay on the couch and tell their problems, and the therapist says, well, how do you feel? And then they go home. So when I went through school, I realized there's just a little bit more than that. You have to kind of hand them a tissue box when you ask them that's how they feel. So, and then there's the decorative fence that, you know, we don't really care who hops over and gets into our business, and we're open up to whoever. We let anybody in. And, you know, even though we don't want to blame our parents, but we are a part of our upbringing. We are a part of our environment. We're a part of, you know, we bring a part of our family and our hurts, and, you know, maybe we were picked on at school, or maybe we were picked on by a boss, or, you know, whoever those people were that, you know, cause us to build up this wall so that we're not hurt. Because when we're hurt, we're very vulnerable. And then we let people in, and then they might hurt us if we don't trust them. So sometimes trust is very hard, especially for these girls. Even when they first get here, they're very angry. They feel like their parents have abandoned them. They put them out to treatment. And, you know, this one girl came. She was so angry. In fact, I think Daniel said she was the worst transport that he ever had. And we finally got her through high school. She actually went home at Christmas time for a visit. And when she came back, she said one of the most proud, I and I learned from all you girls, all the girls. She says, you know, she went home expecting her mom to have missed her and realized it was all her fault, and all of a sudden everything was going to be cured. But when she got home, she found out that she was really the problem, that she was the one that was acting out. And so when she came back to finish high school, the maturity rate and the self-expression had really increased because she realized that it was really her. That she couldn't change her mom, she couldn't change her life, she couldn't change the home environment. The only person she could change was herself.